Villager in golf cart crash feared blood test would screw up the rest of his life. Villager with foggy mind arrested in theft of $200 in groceries at Publix. An unlicensed teen from Mexico arrested after running a stop sign. Another Patio Villa owner in Hemingway was ordered to remove the stone landscaping. Golf Digest picks up on a Stonecrusher's disinvitation to golfers in the villages. Homeowner in the villages given 5 days to remedy a moldy car in the driveway. Jaguar owner runs over an event staffer during car show in the villages. Bicyclist seriously injured when hit by golf cart in the villages. 79-year-old villager will spend Thanksgiving behind bars. Villagers will have to move out of homes due to ongoing sinkhole problem. A large alligator was captured and removed from the Brownwood Paddock Square. An unlicensed driver with Nicaraguan passport arrested after running a stop sign. How many holes in one did we get this week? Letters to the editor. This and more coming up. The news this week is brought to you by my Patreon members. Thanks, Patreons. Let's have some more news. A villager involved in a 2022 golf cart crash said he feared a blood test would screw up the rest of his life. How long do you think you're going to live? Douglas Ray Adams, 73, the village of Monarch Grove, was arrested at his home Friday on a warrant charging him with driving under the influence. The Kinston, North Carolina native had been driving a black 2017 Yamaha golf cart at about 7 p.m. December 13th when he crashed on the multimodal path in the area of County Road 466A and Buena Vista Boulevard. It's been last year. The car had overturned and landed on top of Adams. A bystander rushed to Adams' aid and helped him get free. The bystander yelled for a neighbor to call 911. Adams had not been wearing a seatbelt, and it appeared he had been speeding on the west surface. Seatbelts are not required in a golf cart. I don't know why they keep bringing that up. Adams insisted he had been traveling at 18 miles per hour. Adams' personal belongings had spilled out of the golf cart, including golf balls, shoes, and an open 200-milliliter bottle of Smirnoff vodka. A paramedic at the scene said Adams appeared to be highly intoxicated. Adams was transported by ambulance to the emergency room clinic at Trailwind Village. A deputy investigated the crash, went to the medical facility, and informed Adams he would be ticketed for driving too fast for conditions and an open container violation. Fair enough, Adams said. The deputy also wanted a blood sample. Due to the impracticality of a breath test at the ER, Adams became very belligerent. Eventually, he consented to the blood test. Fake the damn blood test, because I got to tell you, this is going to screw up the rest of my life. 2 vials were taken and sent for testing to the lab at the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. The results were returned earlier this year and showed that Adams had a blood alcohol level of 0.239 and 0.241. A warrant was later issued for his arrest. After he was booked to the Sumter County Detention Center, Adams was released late Friday night after posting a $1,000 bond. A villager with a foggy mind has been arrested in the theft of a $200 worth of groceries at Publix. Marcia Yanovsky, 74, the village of Mira Mesa, went to La Plaza Grande store at about 1 p.m. Monday. Let me interject here. Mira Mesa is the neighborhood, a village that you don't hear about too much. I used to go through Mira Mesa quite a bit. It's really a nice neighborhood. She went to La Plaza Grande store at about 1 p.m. Monday and began filling public shopping bags with merchandise, according to the arrest report. The shopping bags had been removed from the Delaware native's purse. She left the store without paying for the items, but was stopped in a parking lot by store personnel. The merchandise she had taken included vitamins, deli food, produce, and meat products. Yanovsky told police that her mind was foggy due to the mobility issue. However, she said she knew that what she was doing was wrong. The officer wrote in an arrest report, a criminal history check revealed that she had been convicted of theft in 1969 in Honolulu. An unlicensed teen from Mexico was arrested after running a stop sign. Jose Alexander Gomez Delgado, 19, was driving a black Dodge SUV at about 10:30 p.m. Friday, traveling south on Old Dixie Highway at Griffin View Drive when he failed to stop at the stop sign. During a traffic stop, Gomez Delgado admitted he did not have a driver's license and was identified by his Mexico ID card. He said he stays with family around the area but could not give an address. The license plate on the SUV had been assigned to a white 2009 Chevy van. Both vehicles had the same registered owner. Gomez Delgado was arrested for driving without a license. He was booked at the Lake County Jail and released after posting a $1,000 bond, and I hope they impounded the vehicle and forced the registered owner of both vehicles to come pick it up. A Patio Villa owner in the village of Hemingway is the latest resident ordered to remove stone from the landscaping bed in Florida's friendliest hometown. The Patio Villa at 2539 Mariel Way in the Mariel Villas, owned by Herman and Karen Goodwin, was the subject of a public hearing Thursday morning before the Community Development District 7 Board of Supervisors at Seabreeze Recreation Center. A complaint was received September 13th by Community Standards regarding the landscaping stones reaching all the way to the street, according to the evidence presented at the hearing. The Goodwins, who have placed their home in a trust, put together a plan to introduce enough sod and plantings into the landscaping bed to come into compliance. Their application went before the Architectural Review Committee on Wednesday and won approval. The CDD7 board gave the couple 45 days to remove the rock and replace it with sod, in accordance with their ARC application. If they fail to do so, they will be fined. A bank teller identified a suspect who withdrew $1,500 from a Citizens First Bank branch in the Villages using a phony identification. Gary Dale Thrasher, 55, Atlanta, Georgia, was being held without bond on multiple charges of fraud and larceny at the Sumter County Detention Center. In May, Thrasher went to the Citizens First Bank at Magnolia Plaza and provided a form of identification with an account holder's name and withdrew $1,500 according to the arrest report. The following day, the true account holder called the bank asking why the money had been withdrawn from the bank. The bank verified the caller was the real account holder and contacted law enforcement. Wildwood police sent out a bulletin and quickly received information from other law enforcement agencies identifying Thrasher, who was a suspect in similar crimes in their jurisdiction. The teller identified Thrasher from photo lineup. Thrasher showed up a few days later at United South Bank on Main Street in Wildwood, where he withdrew $4,500 using a bogus ID. Police later learned on the same day he'd gone to Citizens First Bank. Thrasher also withdrew $8,200 from Insight Credit Union on State Road 44 in Wildwood, using a phony identification and pretending to be an account holder. Thrasher was arrested June 2nd in Marion County after withdrawing money at banks there using a false identification. Jail records from the facility in Bushnell indicate he is also wanted in Lake County and in Georgia. Good God, put this guy in jail and leave him there. Golf Digest has picked up on a Stonecrester's disinvitation to golfers in the villages. First I've heard of it. The Vulnerable publication, which has been around since 1950, wrote a story about Stonecrester Gene Hilton's letter to the editor, which first appeared in villagesnews.com. The magazine, headquartered in New York with a circulation of more than 1 million per month, zeroed in on Hilton's unwelcoming message all the way down here in Central Florida. Golf Digest editors enjoyed the reaction to Hilton's letter. You may not believe this, but the comments underneath are just as good as the initial message, the Golf Digest story said. Since his letter appeared, several Stonecresters have written letters of their own welcoming villagers to their golf course and restaurant and disowning Hilton. Even a reader from the plantation of Leesburg outstretched a friendly hand and said villagers should come on over and play golf at his retirement community. My only reaction to that, and I generally don't try to give too many reactions to these things, I've never heard of this. Sounds like a little controversy at Stonecrest. They don't, or somebody there, don't want villagers to come over there and play golf. I don't know why. Whatever happened, I'm sorry to hear it. It sounds like it's an isolated case. A homeowner in the villages has been given 5 days to remedy a problem with a moldy, inoperable car parked in the driveway. The Community Development District 5 Board of Supervisors entered an order of enforcement Friday during a public hearing at Seabreeze Recreation Center. The home in question is located at 1703 Sandler Street. The home is owned by Hugo D. and Alma C. Pinedo. Hugo is deceased and Alma's status is not known, according to the information presented to the Board of Supervisors. A complaint about the car as well as overgrown bushes and weeds was received September 1 by community standards. The white Kia Soul was determined to be inoperable because it does not have a valid registration sticker. Phone calls and emails sent to the homeowner were not answered. The emergency contact numbers previously provided by the homeowner are no longer in service. The board granted 5 days for the inoperable vehicle to be moved or to have a new registration sticker placed on it. The board also granted 7 days for the bushes to be trimmed and the weeds removed. If action is not taken, fines will be imposed. I don't know why these houses end up sitting like this. Even if both people have passed away, it's in a trust. Somebody owns this house. Somebody's responsible for this house. The Community Development District 5 Board of Supervisors is considering options for $14,760 in fines at a home with a reverse mortgage. Reverse mortgages here can be a problem. I've seen this time and time again. The home is at 1762 Roseberry Loop in the village of Winifred. In 2021, the property was found to be out of compliance due to overgrown grass and weeds. The owner, Henry Mabry, was said to be living out of state at the time, and the property was said to be vacant. The property was brought back into compliance in 2022. There are $14,760 in fines which have been levied against the property. However, the actual amount expended was $325 in maintenance, $1,460 in legal expenses, and $150 in staff time, for a total of $1,935. This particular property was in the deed compliance process before the CDD5 board changed the rules regarding placing liens on out-of-compliance properties. One option would be to file a small claims case, but it's unclear who currently owns the property or if the money would be recoverable. I am not a believer in forgiving fines, but I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel to recover $14,760, said CDD5 Board Chairman Gary Cadeau. Oh, yes, because they can't sell the house till that's paid. Let the fines continue. Sooner or later, that house is going to go up for sale. And when it does, there you go. The owner of a Jaguar on display Saturday at a car show in the villages ran over a member of the event staff during a dispute. The silver convertible Jaguar XKE was on display at a monthly cruise-in at Spanish Springs Town Square. The owner got into an argument with a special event staffer who works for the villages. The Jaguar owner put the car in reverse and deliberately hit the special event staffer, according to the preliminary information from the Lady Lake Police Department. The special event staffer suffered non-life-threatening injuries. He was taken to UF Health, the village's hospital. The Jaguar owner was taken to UF Health Leesburg Hospital for a medical evaluation. He will be facing charges, police indicated. The name of the driver and the event staffer were not available. The Jaguar was towed from the scene by Cling Towing. Well, I don't know who this old duffer thinks he is to use his car as a weapon to run over somebody, but he should be dealt with severely. A bicyclist was seriously injured when he was hit by a golf cart in the Villages. David Bushiel, 51 of Wildwood, said he was riding his bicycle at about 7:30 p.m. Thursday on the multimodal path near the village of Richmond entrance gate when he was hit by a golf cart that fled the scene. The driver of the golf cart was said to be wearing an orange and yellow shirt, and he had white hair, according to the witness. Well, that narrows it down. He had white hair. Just a point of interest here. He's 51. He does not live in the Villages. He lives in Wildwood, and he's riding his bicycle on our golf cart trail. Just letting you guys know. Those who witnessed the crash came to Bushiel's aid and called 911. He was taken to a local hospital. Well, whoever hit him should be dealt with severely. Why would you hit somebody like that, even if it's an accident? Still, why would you hit him and run? If it's an accident, it's an accident. You don't do that unless you got something to hide. I say somebody's probably been drinking. Seems to happen a lot around here. Law enforcement is seeking help from the public in the search for a woman with a limp who broke into a car at a country club in the Villages. The owner of the car reported that on the night of October 17th, she went to the parking lot of Palmer Legends Country Club, nice country club, I like it, and discovered that the passenger side windows of her vehicle were broken. The woman's credit cards were later used at Best Buy and Target in Lady Lake. Maybe it's just me. Why do you leave that stuff in your car? Why do you leave it in your purse laying in the seat of a car? I don't get it. Surveillance images showed the woman who broke into the car walked with a noticeable limp. She left in a Ford passenger car that had been backed into a spot at the country club. They back them into spots because then you can't see the license plate. Anyone with information is asked to contact Criminal Investigations Division at 352-793-2621 or to remain anonymous, contact Crime Line at 1-800-423-TIPS, 1-800-423-8477. Reference case number 6299. You know, these pictures that they have in their parking lots and things like that, these are some of the worst pictures I've ever seen. They're terrible. They're so grainy. You guys see them. I'm sorry, but that's what I've got. That's the pictures I've got. And that first picture of her with a hat on, look at that grainy thing. Doesn't it look like she has a beard? Country club, people, for as much as you guys charge for everything, buy some updated cameras. Here's an update on an old case. 79-year-old villager will be spending Thanksgiving behind bars after the delay of a motion hearing that could have led her to freedom. Janice Francis McKee of the village of Hacienda East has been held without bond since July 6th at the Sumter County Detention Center. I'm not going to do any more about that. If you want to get caught up on that, go back to look at some of the other news in the past, and you'll see 2 or 3 stories on her. If you guys want to have a New Year's Eve party, better start booking that reservation soon. Villagers can start booking reservations on December 1 for New Year's Eve celebrations at recreation centers. Applications can be downloaded at districtgov.org and sent to room reservations at districtgov.org. For more information, call 352-674-1800. And those rooms have a tendency to fill up pretty quick. Villagers will have to move out of their homes thanks to a sinkhole saga, which began this summer. The sinkhole spotted by a landscaper originally opened August 14 on Scardino Street in the Glenda Villas in the village of Monarch Grove. Wildwood officials have reported considerable progress. Geotechnical engineers performed tests, analyzed results, and recommended another series of grout injections at 21 new sites, which were completed November 10. City officials are awaiting a geotechnical report providing clearance of those repairs. Work to begin rehabilitation of the roadway, including repair of utility infrastructure damaged during the collapse, is scheduled to begin November 27 after Thanksgiving weekend. During that work, up to 12 homes on Scardino Street will need to be disconnected from sanitary sewer lines to allow for reconstruction. Affected residents will be temporarily relocated until services are restored. City staff notified residents and met with them in person last week to discuss the arrangements with a local hospitality provider. Residents provided feedback and the city developed details of the temporary relocation based on that input. We have maintained two-way communication with residents throughout this process and taken their concerns to heart. We opted to start the next phase of repairs after Thanksgiving to allow residents to enjoy the holidays at home with their families. Oh, Lord. They'll just take their families outside and say, hey, look at the big hole. We now look forward to expediting the road and utility work to the greatest extent possible while making sure it also meets the highest safety, quality, and engineering standards. Well, good luck to them people, because that's got to be unnerving. A large alligator has been captured and removed from Brownwood Paddock Square. Wildwood police officers were summoned to the square this weekend, where they blocked off a road until trappers could arrive to take the large alligator away. For some, it evoked memories of Larry the alligator, a once famous reptile. I don't know, he was here first. A once famous reptile who lived in a pond at Brownwood. Larry became quite large because too many people were feeding him. The celebrity alligator was taken away and became an attraction at Gatorland. Did he really? Do we really know that? They all look alike, right? People, if you see an alligator in your backyard, in a pond, or anywhere else, do not feed them. First of all, it's against Florida law. An unlicensed driver with a Nicaraguan passport was arrested after running a stop sign. Louis David Bellios, 29, of Leesburg, was driving a silver Ford Focus at about 1 p.m. Saturday when he failed to come to a complete stop at a stop sign at North Stoke Street and East Warm Springs Avenue in Coleman. During the traffic stop, Bellios presented the deputy with a Nicaraguan passport. The computer check confirmed that Bellios has never been issued a driver's license in the United States. Wonder why that is. He was arrested on a charge of driving without a license. He was booked at the Sumter County Detention Center and released after posting a $500 bond. Once again, I hope his car was impounded. Let's do a couple letters to the editor. To the editor, I live on Victory Drive in the village of Osceola Hills. To leave my village, I go south on Victory to Deskin Lane and turn left on Deskin to exit Osceola. At the corner of Deskin and Victory, a homeowner has 3 very tall, spruce-looking trees that block the view of Deskin. Everyone has to pull up, even with the stop sign, to see if there is a vehicle coming down Deskin. I am surprised that no one has complained to have these trees cut back or removed so they can see oncoming traffic. That's sent in by Angie Fales, the village of Osceola Hills. I think that's a Sumter County problem, a safety problem. Call the Sumter County Sheriff's Department or Streets Department and register a complaint there and see what they can do. Here's a response from a Stonecrester about the letter that they talked about in the news. Mr. Hilton does not want villagers to come over to Stonecrest and play golf or whatever. To the editor, Gene Hilton does not speak for anyone but himself. Stonecrester welcomes all golfers to the golf courses and our restaurant. We are a public course, and he has no right to speak for anyone but himself. He is an embarrassment to Stonecrest. He never has anything good to say. That's sent in by Cheryl Dungan from Stonecrest. Well, Cheryl, tell us how you really feel. I appreciate it. To the editor, the plantation of Leesburg invites all golfers from the villages to our golf courses. Simple. That's sent in by Gary Sitzman, the plantation of Leesburg. Boy, Mr. Hilton, I don't know what bomb you set off there, man, but you've got a lot of people coming back on you. That's all I got to say. I can only tell you I've golfed. I don't golf anymore. When the first 10 years that I was here, I golfed everywhere. I mean, even around us. I can't think of all the places I went out and golfed with friends of mine. Because after a while, it gets boring. Golfing inside the villages, you just get bored golfing the same stuff all the time. And I've went to everywhere. I don't even remember all the names that I know. I've been to Del Webb several times. I've been to Stonecrest. I've been at all the restaurants because after we play golf, we always got to have a beer and a burger or something. The one across the street from Brownwood, what's it called over there? Gosh, I can't think of the name of it now. Continental Country Club. I think that's it. Continental Country Club. Played there several times. Ate at their restaurant several times and had a great time over there. Never had a problem. And I've been to other places too. I can't remember where they're all at. I don't know where this controversy even started. I swear I don't. And I played with many outsiders here in the villages because they try to team you up in foursomes. So if it's only me and one other person during snowbird season, they'll try to team you up with 2 other people. And I've been teamed up with people from different areas a lot. And I've never heard of this. Listen, golf is a gentleman's game. What the heck's going on here? To the editor, Get rid of the anonymous complaint process everywhere in the villages. If they cannot put their name behind it, their words are meaningless and cowardly. That's sent in by Rich Aldrich from the village of St. James. Well, I kind of agree with half of that, but not all of it. I like the anonymous complaint, but I do believe that when you do anonymous complaint, it shouldn't be over the phone unless they configure a good process for that. It should be in person, and you should show your ID that you're a resident, and you should also show that you're a resident of the district in which you're making the complaint. Other than that, I don't think your name needs to go to anybody else. All that's going to do is cause problems. That's my feeling about it, and I'm not going to change my mind. How many holes in ones of golf have we got this week? It looks like one. The village of Amelia resident scored her 4th hole-in-one at the Kenya Hemingway golf course. Pam Fraze got a lucky ace at hole number 4 while golfing at Havana Country Club. That's all it says. Well, congratulations, Pam, on your 4th hole-in-one. Okay, with that being said, I think that's going to be the news for this week. Hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving holidays. Next Monday, I don't know if there'll be a video or not. Next Wednesday will be port setting, and next Friday will be more news. So if you would like to support this channel and our news, please consider being a Patreon member. You'll get the news commercial free and other things that I put on there commercial free. And you can join for as little as $2 a month. So anyway, with that being said, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all of you. So don't leave your keys in the golf cart.